There's one skill in pickleball that is more important than any other. And the reason is that if you don't have it and your opponents know you don't have it, it's game over. So what is this skill that is so important? You might think, oh, it's dinking, it's a third shot drop, it's keeping the ball in the kitchen, it's keeping the ball unattackable. Nope, none of those. It's what we call counterattacking. And basically, it's your ability to handle pace from your opponent. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 3 tools. They're gonna help you handle anything that your opponents can throw at you. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'm gonna give you my 2 favorite drills that I do in almost every drilling session. Okay, so let me set the stage for why I think this skill is so important. Here's a little scenario. We're gonna pretend you and I are playing a match. We're in the first couple points of the match and I decide to speed a ball up at you at the kitchen line. And I see you flinch, flail, look uncomfortable, pop the ball up. Well, once I see that, guess what's gonna happen for the whole match? Yep, it's gonna be a steady diet of hard hit balls coming your way. And it doesn't matter if you're the better dinker, doesn't matter if you're the better dropper, because I'm gonna pick any ball I want and just speed it up at you and then probably eventually win that point. So that is why this skill is critical. It's what makes all our other shots work on a pickleball court. So now that we have the why out of the way, let's get to the how. As I said, I'm gonna give you 3 tools to help you improve and understand what's going on better with this shot. And those 3 tools are this. First, we're gonna take a look at the mindset and get our mind right on how to handle this shot. Next, we're gonna focus on the technique and how our technique can be a little bit cleaner and better to function better under pressure. And then last, we're gonna look at spacing. How can we space ourselves on the court better and give ourselves a better chance to react to the ball? So let's talk mindset first because this is really critical to making this work. So the key here is that we have to be assertive and not passive. If my opponent hits a hard ball at me and I'm passive, then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna tense up, I'm gonna tend to just kind of block the ball, and there's gonna be this sense that my opponent is in control and I'm just reacting to what they're doing. So we want the opposite. We want to understand that they're hitting a hard shot, but we want to put our own energy back into the ball. So even though it's coming fast, there's still purpose to my shot. I'm still trying to take that shot and put it back with authority and with purpose. I'm not just reacting to what they're doing. Now let's talk technique of how we're actually gonna execute this, because this is the tough part. So simply, we have 3 main goals. Number 1, we want to start in a nice relaxed, ready position, and I want to emphasize the word relaxed. Too often, if you're in a ready position that's tense, where your shoulders are up and your grip is tight and your arms are tight, you're gonna be slow and you're gonna be not very reactive to the ball. So we gotta have that nice, relaxed, ready position, let the shoulders fall, let the arms hang. Number 2, the swing needs to be compact. So that means no backswing. That means we just take the paddle from our ready position and have it react to the ball, almost like you're catching a ball in baseball. So if the ball's going here, I take the paddle right to that spot and let the ball run into it. If the ball's going down there, I take the paddle right to that spot. I'm not taking it back and swinging at it. And then number 3, we're trying to finish our swing back to that relaxed ready position again, okay? So we don't want to have a giant finish that comes all the way across our body or that pushes our weight and so we end up off balance. So if we start relaxed, we react to the ball, and then we finish with a nice compact swing back to ready. Now we're ready to do it all over again. So if I'm at the kitchen line here and my opponent is also at the kitchen line speeding the ball up at me, I've got roughly a quarter of a second, sometimes maybe less depending on the speed of the ball, to react to the ball. That's very difficult. Even for people with some of the fastest hands in the world, that's very difficult. If you hit a shot that you think is attackable, an example of that would be what we call a dead dink. So I hit a dink that kind of sits up a little bit. It's in front of my opponents. It's not doing much. A lot of times opponents will like to take that ball and speed it up. So if I hit that shot and I think my opponent might attack it, what I can do is I can take one big step away from the kitchen. So once I hit that shot, I take one big step away, okay? Just that one step gains me roughly 30% extra in reaction time. And that is a ton. So that can mean the difference between standing here and being jammed or not having time to read the ball or popping the ball up, or one big step back. That's gonna give me that little bit of extra time to read the shot, get my paddle on it, and hammer it back at them, okay? So I call this counterattack position. If you think an attack is coming, give yourself an extra step of space, get into counterattack position, and now we can actually read that ball, put a good swing on it, and hammer it hard back at our opponent. So I wanna thank SELKRIK for being a sponsor of the video. I recently just switched to this new Vanguard control, and this paddle is amazing. Legitimately one of the best paddles I've ever played with. I love it. It's got great spin, it's got good power, it's got good feel and touch up at the kitchen line. If you wanna check out any SELKRIK gear for yourself, make sure you use code ADV-Cincola at checkout, and you will get a free gift card with your purchase. As promised, I want to give you my 2 favorite drills to work on your hand speed or counterattack ability. So both of these are going to be cooperative with a partner, with both people standing at the kitchen line. Okay, so the first drill is going to be just a fast hands drill where you're going to be volleying back and forth with a partner as quickly as you can. And we're going to do some patterns in 3-minute increments. So you're going to get your stopwatch, you're going to set it for 3 minutes, and we're going to do forehand to forehand, so meaning I hit my forehand volley to my opponent's forehand volley, and we're gonna try to keep that going kind of as quickly as we can for 3 minutes. After that 3 minutes, we're gonna go forehand to backhand, and then backhand to forehand, okay? So that'll be 4 different patterns, 3 minutes each. Hopefully during that time, you're getting your technique dialed in on each shot. So you know roughly where the ball is coming, so we can really focus on keeping things compact, kind of all those technical things we talked about earlier. Now for the last 3 minutes, we open it up to random ball. So that means the ball could come anywhere. And now we're really working on our reaction time. We're working on keeping that nice neutral ready position and reacting to the ball as it comes. Okay, so that's drill number 1. Second drill, we're gonna add a dink and a speed up to it, okay? So you're gonna have an attacker and a counter attacker that you determine. The attacker, you're gonna start with a dink rally, and the attacker is gonna pull that trigger and attack on one of the first couple balls, 2 to 3 balls. So you dink back and forth, pull the trigger and attack, that other person counter attacks, and then you play out the point. And you just keep doing that over and over and over again. Probably about 5 minutes for each person, okay? After 5 minutes, you switch roles and then do another 5 minutes. So those are my 2 favorite drills. If you do those a couple times a week, you're gonna see your hand speed and counterattack ability go up pretty quickly. Don't forget to snap your screenshot summary so next time you hit the court, you have all this information right at your fingertips.